Hello there. We're going to do a quick overview of the ELA writing component to the FSA test for 4th and 5th grade. We're going to begin with looking at Florida's transition to computer-based testing schedule. Last year, as we can see, 5th grade began the reading computer-based testing and continue with math computer-based testing. This year, 5th grade will continue with reading and math computer-based testing while adding 4th grade reading computer-based testing. However, 4th grade will continue their paper-based math tests. Next year, 4th grade will continue their reading computer-based tests and add math computer-based tests. In the same year, next year, 3rd grade will begin their math computer-based tests and continue their paper reading tests. The following year, 3rd grade will begin their reading computer-based tests and continue their math computer-based test, while 4th and 5th grade are both reading and math computer-based tests. As you can see, it's telling us down here that it's the reading component is computer-based test, writing component is still paper-based test through this year. But we know the end game is for writing to eventually to be on the computer, so that's how we're going to look at our practice writing test. We're going to begin by going to FSA assessments. Click on practice test. You can look at computer-based or paper-based. We're going to look at computer-based because we know that's the end game goal. We're going to sign in as a guest. We're going to select grade 5. We're going to select the writing practice test. We're going to keep the font size and colors the same. This is your tutorial. Feel free to look through it. We're just going to begin test now. So as it's pulling up, we know this is grade 5 ELA writing practice test. We see the stimuli on the left, we see the prompt on the right, and we have to scroll down to get to where the students type. So let's look at the stimuli. We have source 1, we have source 2, we have source 3. Alright, we're going to make this smaller so we can see the prompt. We see it's an opinion prompt, and the students are to read the passages, plan their response, write their response, and revise and edit. They are to include an introduction, support for their opinion, using information from the passages, and provide a conclusion. Notice it tells them it should be in the form of a multi-paragraph essay. Doesn't specify the number of paragraphs, just multi-paragraph essay. And this is where the students write. So that is the 5th grade computer-based practice writing test. Let's check out 4th grade's ELA writing practice test. Again, we see the stimuli on the left. We can click here so that it is larger. We see source 1, source 2, and embedded in source 2 is a bar graph, and then source 3. So that is 4th grade stimuli. Then their prompt is informative. Likewise, it tells them to manage their time to read the passage, plan your response, write your response, and revise and edit your response. Be sure to include an introduction, information from the passages as support, and a conclusion, and it should be a multi-paragraph essay. So this is where they would type their response to the prompt. Let's check out from the item specifications. Let's look at 4th grade's ELA reading and writing stimulus guidelines. So we see informational text. We see primary sources, nonfiction, historical documents, essays, letters, journals, and diaries, secondary sources, magazine articles, newspaper articles, editorials, encyclopedia articles. We see functional materials such as consumer documents, embedded in text, graph, and tables like we saw in the 4th grade sample, how-to articles, brochures, flyers, schedules, website pages, literary, nonfiction, biographical, and autobiographical sketches, diaries, memoirs, etc., essays, personal and classical narratives, and critiques. We also see literary fiction options on this side. So that was 4th grade. Let's take a peek at 5th grade. This one's 5th grade, and it looks the same. So we know that the end game is put writing on the computer-based testing eventually. We went to the FSA assessments to look at the practice tests. We looked at the 5th grade tests, the 4th grade tests, and we checked out through the item specifications both 4th and 5th grades reading and writing stimulus guidelines. I hope this helps and works in your classroom. Thanks.